Well, the incentive's there, isn't it? With the Lions coming down. Like, it's so big, isn't it? And I suppose from this side hoops, people would be wondering whether or not Australia can compete. And just listening to you and talk about Joe and the coaching team that he's putting together and the appetite for that tour, what do you say to that when people say, can Australia compete with the Lions in just over a year?
Yeah, so I guess starting from the beginning of your question, it was only my second year in international colours when the Lions came down in 2013. It's like we spoke about debut 2012, 2013, they come down. And the way the season's structured here is like you'd play half your Super Rugby and then do this 3 test matches and then go back to Super Rugby. And to have like a tournament or the 3 games of that magnitude just sort of dripped into the middle of your Super Rugby season seemed, just a little bit, not as grand as what it could be. I went to the 2001 Lions game in Sydney as a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, and that was amazing. Still have great fond memories of that. And then 2013, I just didn't recognize the sheer scale of what the Lions is coming down. And I guess the exciting thing about this one is the last was COVID affected. So my hope as an Aussie fan and player is that, you Lions supporters are bloody excited to spend some money and get down to Australia and watch a series that I think will be competitive. Like I mentioned to you, there is a level of hunger here amongst the players that can do nothing but breed quality. The in-house competition and fighting for spots is what makes, I think, you get players rising to another level. So when you've got 2 sevens or 3 sevens, even better, fighting over one position, you're going to get just a massive jump if there's only 1 or 2 people competing that can both fit into the squad. So, part of the, I think, challenge now in the lead up to that is creating as much depth as you can in each position. And then those positions can then be going head on head as much as possible. So you're not just getting a player at his potential, you're getting something above it because that competition's breeding, a better player than what you would have had otherwise.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it will be competitive.
Yeah, and you've got big Will Skelton as well. I played with him at Saracens, sat next to him, got run over by him a few times, but he's a special talent as well as you've got some really gifted players still within your squad, right?
Yeah, no, there's plenty, mate. There's plenty.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we're shooting forward, but just the World Cup as well. Like, is it the Lions first, then World Cup, or is this big build-up at home towards the World Cup and you being hosts of that again? Because it was epic in 2003, everything that goes with that.
Yeah, there's 2 ways to look at it as the home nation, and I think saw it a bit with the French last year being, arguably the form team with Ireland going into the tournament. It creates a pressure, but a pressure that can have 2 very different effects on a team. One is the overwhelming pressure that it just go, oh my God, we better do well here, and that can be compress a team, or it can be you can feel that sort of natural push behind you and the wind in the sails and really let the club go type of thing that, hey, this is ours and we can really let rip on this. So for that to happen, I think there needs to be some success and some really positive stories within Australian rugby into that time. No better than, having a successful Lions series for the players to realise that, oh yeah, actually, we are a team that can perform and can perform under the lights, and that then breeds a way of doing things that rolls into a home World Cup that allows you to do really well. If you look at 2003, the Wallabies had won in 2001 against the Lions. They'd won the 99 World Cup. They'd won the Bledisloes, I think, definitely leading into that. So the team knew about success and knew about what it took for them to get to that point. So. And then that 2003 World Cup turns into we could win it in our backyard. How bloody good would that be? Not, oh my God, it's in our backyard. I hope we do well. And they're 2 very different ways of thinking. So, I think it's chicken and the egg, but yeah, it's need to get some runs on the board soon.
Yeah. Now we've built up this narrative, Hoops. Just give us an idea of what is the motivation as an Australian when it comes to rugby. So everything that you've been through, the success, the highs, the lows, like as you come out of this, where does the motivation lie for this brilliant nation of yours for rugby union?
I think motivation's different for everyone. It's hard for me to say it's different for it's the same. I think some people really identify with it's they have the ability to represent their community and their group within Australia, and some people just want to be the best player they can be, and some people grew up watching the Wallabies, and they had every trophy in the cabinet, and they want to return it to that stature and that level, and be a part of that rebuild and be the people that are going down the main streets in the double decker bus and getting the ticket tape, that sort of thing. I think there's all varying different motivations, none of them right or wrong, but getting that in a circle and utilizing all that energy into one big melting pot and making it work is the challenge. And that's why I think, we've seen, results of win, win, loss, win, loss throughout, and the inability to get that real consistency because it's a hard one to really nail down. But it can be done. No question. Like we've talked about, it's got the players, it's got the, we're in a good competition to do it. You're playing the Kiwis all the time. The Fijians are now doing good things with the Fijian Drua in the tournament. There's nothing there. There's no reason why not. It's just making it happen.